Hi, I'm Virginie, and this is Better Minds. This podcast is a gentle space for honest conversations about mental health, creativity, and the music that shapes us. Whether you're healing, learning, or simply looking for comfort, I am so grateful you're here. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Better Minds. Today's guest is someone you might already know because we actually recorded an episode together last year about friendship breakups and emotional healing. I'm really happy to have Carson Hill back on the podcast today. In this episode, we talk about sensitivity, creativity, mental health, reconnecting with yourself, and what it really means to bet on yourself and follow your dreams, even when it feels scary. We also talk about leaving comfort behind, finding happiness, protecting your energy, and learning to trust your own path. So grab a tea or coffee, get comfortable, and enjoy this conversation with Carson Hill.
Hello.
Hello. So good to see you after a year.
I know.
That's crazy. Time flies.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, last year I was a mess.
Girl, what are you talking about? I'm still a mess. Let's be real.
No, you're not.
I feel like I am half the time. But yeah, I feel we're in much better places, I think, than the last time we talked, though.
Yeah, I think so. How are you? How's your morning?
It's been good. It's been a weird morning. My dad's going through like some health stuff, so I feel like we all just kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but it's been good. I'm doing better now that I'm here with you. How are you?
I am good. I spent the day recording episodes in French and
Oh my
editing.
gosh. That sounds so fun.
Fun and intense.
I, believe it or not, relate. I feel like I've been editing a lot of videos lately. So
You are a queen of vlogs. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. I'm trying so hard. It is a lot of work though. People don't realize how often like you have to be filming and then also how much you have to be editing after you film.
Yeah.
The work is just never done.
So you just put your phone everywhere now? Everywhere
Yes.
you go?
I'm that person and I hate every second of it, but I'm also like, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I watch so many vlogs every day.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And every time I do stuff now, I'm like, am I filming myself or no? But I am not.
No, that's so true. I think about that, or I'll be doing something and I go, oh, I need to film this. And then I'm trying to look around to see if there's anywhere I can set my phone. But then I have to remind myself it's okay to also live life without your camera on.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find the balance.
Yeah, but I love your show.
Thank you. Yes. It is crazy to feel like people are watching it like a TV show. Because I do that with other vloggers. Like I'll watch their lives and I feel like, oh, I have a new episode. This is so fun. And then I'm doing it and it's very much an unfiltered version of my life. So I try to make it as realistic as possible too.
I love it. I'm a big fan. I love
Thank
vlogs
you.
so much.
I appreciate you watching them. Like you messaging me about it, that makes my day every time.
It's like watching a friend doing her thing, living her life, and you can
Wouldn't
relate.
it be cool if we could do that with all of our friends? Like just see recaps of their day and be like, oh, I was with you for that. Like that's so fun.
I would love that.
That would be so fun.
But yeah for vlogs. Keep doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you keep doing these podcasts. I live for them every time they pop up on my For You page. And I'm like, oh, here's another video.
I'm back today with you.
Yes, with me.
And we're not going to talk about sad stuff.
No,
Not
it's
this
all going to be
time.
happy. No.
We're going to try. It's always
Watch this be the saddest episode you have.
Yeah, it can happen sometimes. Like the
so
conversation can go somewhere else. It happens. Yeah. So you recently left your job. Congrats,
did.
by the way. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. That's That's not always the response people give me, so thank you for that.
So how does this new chapter feel emotionally for you?
Oh my gosh, I feel so much lighter. I don't know how you would think it's terrifying, don't get me wrong. Not getting a steady paycheck, having to figure out new ways to make money. That part's stressful. However, I didn't realize how burdened I was by the job I was working until the day I quit. I felt so much relief sending that resignation email, and then the day after, I didn't panic. I was expecting regret to kind of form and me be like, oh no, what did I do? But I just felt so much relief. And yeah, I just feel like I'm in a really good place emotionally right now. And I don't know how to describe it other than I just feel lighter and freer than I have in a very long time.
I can feel it.
Everyone's been saying that. And I think that's also the craziest part is everyone closest to me for the last 8 months has just slowly kind of said, are you good? Life, you don't seem like you're doing very well. And the moment I quit, everybody has just said, oh my gosh, you seem like a different person. And I feel like a different person. I just don't even know how to describe the change of attitude and mood and everything.
Damn.
I
What was your job?
So okay, here's the thing. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I was a patient coordinator at a physical therapy clinic. So all that means is I was doing intake calls with people and hearing about injuries that they had been experiencing, kind of holding their hand through the process of if they worked with us, what does that look like? And honestly, most of it was just hearing people's stories, which I love. You know, I'm a people person. I like talking to people. I really enjoyed that aspect. But the problem is I did like 8 calls in a day, and they would be 30 to 40-minute calls where you're hearing the history of somebody who it could have been chronic back pain for the last 10 years, or it could have been a sudden injury that's affecting everything in their life, and it's very emotional. So you're taking these calls.
I was going to ask you, as a highly sensitive person, how did you do that?
Oh, I loved it and I hated it all at the same time because there's a part of me that loves connecting with people. We've talked about this before in our DMs. Like, I love hearing people's stories, but because I am such an empath, I felt so drained. And then I was also having to do administration work on top of that. So I was kind of juggling multiple clinic locations. And so I was doing all of this work, and then I'd get home and I was so emotionally drained from trying to show up for people and listen and then also do well at my job. And it was kind of demanding at times. I felt exhausted all of the time, and I didn't have a personal life at all. Like, for the last 8 months, I hadn't been going out with friends. I hadn't been doing any fun activities. I was literally working and going home and working and going home. And I was pretty miserable.
Yeah. Damn.
I know. It's not that I don't recommend it to anybody. If you are a highly sensitive person, maybe doing a job that's very dealing with the public might not be the best thing for you.
Yeah. Can't do it.
No. No, it was good. Like, there were moments where it was really rewarding. But yeah, I definitely took on a lot of other people's emotions while doing the job. Yeah.
But it's over now. Look at you now.
I know. It's so crazy the amount of people who, I've been doing music for like the last 17, 18 years. I've always posted stuff, even when I've been working different jobs. I've always been present with my music, sometimes more consistently than others. But this new season, ever since I announced like, hey, I quit my job, I'm going full time with music, I'm doing this Bet on Myself summer, everybody has been commenting on stuff now. And I'm just like, whoa, if I had known that people are going to be so supportive of this, I would have done this way sooner.
Everything happens for a reason.
It does. It does. It just slowly kind of works out how it's meant to.
Yep. So Bet on Myself summer. What inspired that mindset?
Okay, I do have to give credit to somebody. So there is a local news reporter named Molly Grantham. She is kind of big in our North Carolina area. And she had quit, like left her corporate world of news anchoring and reporting and started a small business betting on herself. So she called it like bet on yourself. She does motivational speaking. And my family has followed her for a very long time. So she would post this stuff of taking a chance on yourself. And it was so inspiring to see a woman do it. I feel like men, they get the ideas in their head and they're like, I'm just going to do this. And they don't ask for permission. They don't really get other people's opinions. They see something they want to do and they just do it. And everybody supports it. And women, it's almost like we have to talk ourselves into it or have a valid reason, or we have to ask for permission from people around us. And she has always been just like very motivating to say, you know what, just do what you feel like you're being called to do. Bet on yourself. It's one thing to like believe in yourself, but betting on yourself is like putting your money where your mouth is and truly investing in yourself. And so I was seeing those videos, and my mom was like, why don't you do that this summer? So I said, you know what, I'm going to spend the whole summer betting on myself and not just believing in myself, not saying, oh, I love my music, I believe in what I'm doing, because I think a lot of artists believe in what they're doing. You wouldn't be doing if you didn't. But there's something else to saying, I am going to jump with no safety net and really invest in myself, whether that's money, whether that's all of my time and energy. I am investing in myself. So that's kind of what the bet on myself inspiration was, is I'm going to take the whole summer to truly jump into betting on myself.
Damn. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
This is so inspiring.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm hoping other people will be inspired by it. Because, like I said, for women especially, I feel like we always just kind of, is that okay? Can I do that? Are you sure that's okay? I don't know. Like, we're afraid to take up space. And I just think it's really exciting to finally feel like, you know what, I'm going to take up space and I don't care what anyone else thinks about that. And it's been very empowering.
Yep. Would you say you found happiness today?
Yes, 100%.
I can see that.
And yeah, I feel like a completely different person even than I was last year. And that was a big motivating factor is I have struggled with depression on and off for like the last 5 years pretty heavily. And I was coming up on the springtime and I was reading old journals and I was so miserable this time last year. And I had the opportunity to come home to North Carolina, leave Nashville, do music last summer. And I didn't do it because I felt a loyalty to the other job I was working at the time. I felt a loyalty to people around me that maybe didn't fully deserve it. And it kept me in Nashville. And I told myself this year, I said, I don't want to waste another summer that I could have tried something that I wanted to do last year and feel miserable all over again and deal with, depression is always worse in the summer for me. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm just going to do it and see how I feel. And I'm so glad I did because I've been the happiest. Sometimes it is that easy. You just have to make a decision and change something and you really will feel better.
Well, I am happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Your messages have meant so much to me I feel like you've kind of been there for all of it. So
I tried.
yes,
I could have done
appreciate
better.
it.
I could have done better. But
No, you did great. You did great.
My excuse is that I'm French and I am not in your country.
Well, that is kind of geography does play a role in a lot of that. Our time difference alone is a little crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't help, but yeah, I'm doing my best to support you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm always supporting you because I love what you're doing. You give a platform to artists, and your posts are just always so relatable. Every time I see something, whether that's with Better Music or your personal page, like I've been loving your anxiety drive, like your exposure therapy stuff. I feel
Thank you.
that too in my soul. So.
My God, exposure therapy.
I'm proud of you though. That's so hard. Especially
It is so hard.
Car anxiety, I get it. So I'm so proud of you for pushing through that.
Thank you. It's still a struggle, but it's getting better.
Yeah, it takes time. Everything takes time.
Yeah, but we're getting there.
Yes. Slowly.
So, yeah. You're back home,
I am.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Best around.
And you're playing shows again?
I am playing shows again. So that was kind of the biggest decision, I would say even bigger than leaving the job, was deciding to come home to North Carolina because everyone says, oh, go to Nashville, go to Nashville. If you want to find success in music, go to Nashville. And I've hit 10 years. I'm in my 11th year out there. And I was just kind of like, I just want to go home. And it's easier to book shows in North Carolina. You have the beach, you have the mountains, like you have a little bit of everything, whereas Tennessee is more landlocked. Like there's not as many places and there's more artists doing it, so there's less paying jobs and things like that. So making that decision was really tough though. I was so scared to be like, I'm gonna go home for the summer.
You did it.
I did it. I think like it got to the point where I was like, I don't really care what anyone else thinks because I know some people in Nashville probably thought, oh, well, she's going home and giving up because that's a little bit of the mentality out there is, oh, how long is this person going to stay around? But then there's a part of me that's like, I really don't care. I'm playing shows and I'm getting to have fun and I'm getting paid to do it. So it's been really good for
Yeah,
me, I
it's
think.
perfect.
Yeah. We'll see at the end of summer. Everybody's like, "Are you moving home? Like what's the deal?" And I'm like, "No,
We'll
I'm
see.
keeping."
We'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm like, "We're gonna just
We're not
figure it
there
out at
yet.
the end."
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm like,
no
summer's not
pressure.
even started really. Like let's
Exactly.
get through that
No
first.
pressure. Just do your thing.
Exactly.
So, has reconnecting with home changed your perspective in any way?
Yes. I think in Nashville, everybody's about what are you doing? Like, what's the next thing you're doing? What's the next project you're working on? Are you releasing anything? And I think relationships are very transactional. And then being home, I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, I saw that you were doing this," or "I was watching your vlog, and that's so cool that you were doing this thing." And it could be something that doesn't impress people in Nashville. Like it could be a show that they're like, "Okay, yeah, you played a show, cool. Everybody plays shows." But I come home and everybody's like, "That's such a big deal." And I think being home has reminded me to celebrate even the smallest of things. I think we get really caught up in comparison and going, oh, but that's like not as cool as what this person's doing, or this person doesn't seem as impressed with what I'm doing. And then I come home and everybody's like, that's amazing. What are you talking about? You just did this thing. And so I think reconnecting, it's been very grounding, less transactional relationships, which has been really good for me as a highly sensitive person. I feel like I'm just loved for who I am instead of what I can offer. So that's been really good. I think it's just been overall a very grounding experience being home.
What does home mean to you at this point in your life?
I think my family, which is why it was so hard for me in Tennessee for a while, because it's 8 hours away from where my parents live. And I think, yeah, just being around my family, being around people who know you and love you, and you can show them the worst parts of yourself and they still accept you. To me, that's what home is. It's not really even a location or a place. It's the people that truly like know you and love you.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah, I could cry talking about it. Like it's just been
Please
so good.
cry.
I mean, we said it wasn't going to be sad though.
Please cry for 5 minutes.
I have done that in therapy before. I've like started talking about something and I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. I hate crying in front of people. And she's like, that's a normal reaction. I'm like, yeah, I know. So sorry.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that now. Not
No,
now.
no, no. Yeah. It has been good to be home though.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you. And it seems so chill and beautiful where you are. I would love
Country
it.
life, it truly is. My mom is very big. She jokes she wishes she was European because I do think European countries have a very different outlook from America in general. But like the slow living movement, living a soft life, my mom is all about that. So being back in her atmosphere of we're not in a hurry. We're just
Yeah.
gonna enjoy like every evening is an experience. We make dinner, we sit outside. I mean, thankfully we live on 40 acres of land, so we have like a lot of space to do that in nature. But that has been such a game changer being home, and small town life is very slow living. I mean, it's just so good for someone like me.
I bet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can breathe. I can
Yeah.
take a breath. It's fine.
It seems so peaceful.
It really is. I kind of forgot what it was like to not hear cars every day outside my
Yeah.
window or people or biggest thing is airplanes occasionally. And that's
Yeah.
it. Like it's so
Yeah.
nice.
I like peaceful towns. You should come to my town someday.
I want to. I need to get my passport renewed so I can hop on a plane and just you can show me around. That
Yeah.
would be so fun.
You would love it. It's so
Oh, I
pretty.
know I would. I know I would. It's been on my bucket list for forever.
Okay.
But I need to learn French. I need to learn
Oh,
some.
I will teach you all the bad words.
Oh, perfect. I'll fit right in. I'll just say them with like the most innocent smile on my face, and they'll be like, "Who is this girl?" And I'll have a southern accent probably while I do it. So they'll be like, "Who is she?"
Let's do it. All
I'm
right.
ready.
As a highly sensitive person, do you think music became a safe space for you growing up?
Yes. I think it started because being highly sensitive, and we've talked about friendships a lot, you and me personally. I think when you're highly sensitive and you always feel kind of different from everybody else, it's almost a form, music has been in a form of one, escaping from that feeling of feeling left out or feeling hurt by other people. And life can feel really hurtful when you're highly sensitive. Like everything
Yeah.
feels like you're raw and cut open to the world. And you're just like, I feel so deeply. And for music, it feels kind of like a resting place. Like I can go back to it. And even if I'm writing about something that was hurtful, or, you know, a friendship that really deeply hurt me, or a relationship or a situation, it's almost like the place where I can go and all the feelings are accepted. Like there's
Mm.
no wrong feeling. You can write about anything and it's perfectly okay. Like you can explain these feelings away. Nobody's going to say, "Hey, that's not right," or "You're wrong for feeling this way." Music just kind of accepts it. And I think that's been so helpful for me to cope with the big feelings that I get my whole life.
It is hard to be highly sensitive.
So hard, especially if I don't know if you had this growing up, and my parents thankfully have always been very gentle with me. Like they know I'm sensitive because my mom is a highly sensitive person. My sister's pretty sensitive. My dad, he's a man. He doesn't show sensitivity often, but they've always been very gentle with me. But there are other people growing up who tell you, "Oh, you're just being too sensitive," or "You just need to let it go," or "That's just life." And I don't know. I just don't think that's true. I think we're meant to feel deeply, and there's nothing wrong with that. But people treat it like it's a problem.
Yeah. They're afraid to feel.
Yeah, my mom likes to say, when somebody says like, "Oh, you're being too sensitive," she likes to turn it on them and be like, "Well, maybe you're not being sensitive enough. Maybe that's the problem." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? A lot of people aren't being sensitive enough, I think." So
Yeah.
there's some truth to that.
Too afraid to show their emotions.
Yeah, because it's very, like I said, it's very vulnerable. It's very,
Yeah.
you feel like you're living life with your heart kind of on your sleeve at all times, and you're giving it away to everybody all the time.
Yep. By the way, your mom seems amazing. I want to meet her.
She, she'll come with me to France. How about that? Yeah, we'll just plan a big old trip. She's the best. There's been so often, like, she'll tell me something, and I'm like, "Yeah, mom, okay, uh-huh." And then I'll go to therapy and I'll talk about it, and my therapist will say the exact same thing. And my mom's just kind of like, "I don't know why you even go. I tell you this stuff already." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Maybe you should go back to school for that," because she's so full of wisdom and knowledge. I want to be her. I want to be her so badly when I grow up.
But you're you.
I am me.
And you have
I am.
her in you.
I do. I do. I think I'm just a little I was about to say spicier, but I think saltier than she is. I have more of a temper than my mom. She's so even keel all the time. She's just like the most laid back person you will ever meet. And that's really good for me too, to be around.
Yeah, we
She's
need
like, it's
those
not a big
people.
deal.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you see your sensitivity as a strength, or is it still something you struggle with sometimes?
I think the older I get, like even since the last time we talked, I feel like I'm getting better at managing it and wielding it more like a superpower than looking at it as something. Because for a long time, I was just hurt by so many people. And even now, I've still been hurt recently by people. And it's really hard to,
Who are they?
I'll give you names and numbers. Yeah, we'll look them up. Um, but just like in friendships, like I think I'm such a giving person that when I realize I'm being used for being a sensitive person, for being very loving, for being very giving, and then I realize like maybe people are only using me for that to get something out of it, or they drop me the moment I'm not useful anymore. That's really hard, but I think I've just grown like to accept it about myself instead of I used to really resent being sensitive, being a very emotional person. I used to hate it because it felt like nobody else was bothered by the things that bothered me or situations where somebody would say something and it would deeply hurt me and I would think about it for weeks. And my mom was like, "Well, they went to public school. They learned early on like people say mean things and they move on from it faster." And she's like, "You were homeschooled. It's no wonder that, certain things hurt you more because you weren't really around it growing up." And I used to resent it so much because it felt like I was always functioning on this like emotional level nobody else was. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing in a world that can be really callous and cruel, I think it's a superpower because so many people have said, "Oh, your videos brighten my day," or "You're kind of like the comfort video I want to watch on a Sunday." And I'm reminded that so many people need to see that and they need to feel that because they aren't experiencing it in day-to-day life. Like not everybody's highly sensitive and loving people or sensitive to other people's feelings. And I think it's like a superpower to be one of those people that takes that out in the world and is like, "No, I'm still going to be loving and I'm still going to show up and be sensitive to other people. I'm not going to let this make me bitter." And so I think the more I've accepted it, the more I've actually been really blessed to have other people come to me and say like this was really inspiring or this really made my day. And it feels like, oh, I'm actually doing something that makes a difference. It's not a weakness, it's a strength.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know if that
is.
makes sense, but that's kind of how I've reframed it in my mind growing up.
Yeah. It is a superpower, though. It is.
It really is. And I think again, in today's world, it's so many people are good at being mean. So many people are good at like writing that mean comment or saying something to your face or talking about you behind your back that I think people are really taken off guard when somebody is calm and peaceful and is who they are both in front of you and behind your back. Like that's a really beautiful thing to carry with you. But
How do you handle rejection as a highly sensitive person?
oh, I always overreact at first and then I take like 5 minutes. I let myself have like the range of emotions. I very much believe in if something hits you really hard at first, like let yourself feel it. So I might overreact a bit and be like, "How dare they?" Or "That's really hurtful," or cry about it. And then if I have like a good 20 minutes doing that, I might step back and go, "Okay, but like I can't fault them for feeling that way, especially depending on like what the rejection is." I've gotten better about being able to let it go and be like, "Okay, well, it's either a them problem or it wasn't meant to be, or we can just like agree to disagree and move on." Like I'm getting a little bit better at rejection, but I've never been super great at it.
Yeah.
It
I'm
feels so
getting better
personal.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many experiences with rejection. So now I'm just like,
Yes.
just let it go now. I try.
I think you also build up a tolerance. Like you get rejected
Yeah.
enough that you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay, like I had a person hurt me a really long time ago. That was probably the worst I've ever been rejected. And I'm like, I went through that. Nothing's gonna hurt me worse than that at this point.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, see ya. Bye.
Exactly. Now I'm just like, whatever, I'm used to it.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad, but it's also very freeing because you're
Yeah,
releasing it and it's not hurting you anymore. You're like, okay, well, suits you.
exactly.
I'm like, yeah.
But fuck, that's this made me think. This made me think of that ex-friend
Yes.
because I saw her again. Well, I told you about it. The
Yes. At the
birthday party.
party.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she rejected me again because she didn't say hi or anything. So yeah.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
was a
but like,
slap in my face.
and it's weird because, like, again, it's that situation you went through. If that happened to me, I would be so upset about it for about 20 minutes. I would be like, it would just break my heart all over again. I would feel like the full range of the rejection and be like, "Ugh, this is happening again. This is just devastating." And then I would hit like 20 minutes and I'd be like, okay, well, I went through that. I experienced it. We're just gonna move on. Like, but it's her loss, like not acknowledging you. I
Yeah,
mean,
but for 5 hours,
that's crazy. I still can't believe that happened to
I would
you.
I would still see her like she was just walking around, and I was like, I didn't know how I felt.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit empty.
Do you feel like maybe it was like a numbness at that point? You're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, yeah. That
that's
was
the
it.
worst. Yeah, because at that point you're like, I've already been disappointed by you. There's not really much else you can do to disappoint me. But man, it's almost like just twisting the knife a little bit more.
Exactly.
Like, I wasn't expecting much, but I was expecting more than that.
And then I went back home and I was like, okay, I survived.
You
I'm
did.
okay. Yeah,
Do you feel stronger after that experience? Like more prepared
yeah.
for,
I think so too, but I don't think I'm gonna go to another party,
yeah.
something like that. I no. I said
I,
yes too early. I should have said no. That was my
yeah,
mistake.
I get it though. I mean, and you're also trying not to make things weird between any of the mutual people you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're
What
doing your best.
you would have gone to the party if you were me?
I don't know the context of all the people you know, like
Because I'm
how they,
friends with the family, the whole
yeah.
family.
So I guess it would depend on how they've treated you. I had a like a different experience with my ex-friend in the sense of her family just kind of stopped talking to me.
Okay.
So I don't think I would be invited to any parties. I would be shocked if an invitation showed up on my door for anything to do with her family. I'd be like, oh. And then I would start being really paranoid. I'd be like, is this a setup? Is something going to happen to me? But I'm also like really paranoid. I'm working on that. Ever since my experience with my friend breakup, I think I'm like uber skeptical of everyone at all times, which
Mm,
isn't healthy. I'm still working through that a little bit.
yeah.
But now you know. You went to the party, now you know.
Yeah. It's over now.
Yeah.
That was terrible. But I'm
I
okay.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I can't even tell you. When you messaged me about that, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how she did that. I would just die. I would die of all the emotions.
This is what happened, basically. But yeah, whatever. How do you protect your mental and emotional energy while working in such an intense industry?
Ooh, I'm still trying to figure that one out, to be completely real with you. I think surrounding yourself with people who knew you before music was ever a thing. Especially in an industry, like I said, living in a town like Nashville where everybody wants to know what you're doing and is kind of sizing you up at all times. And whether that's what can they get out of you or are you going to be competition? I think surrounding yourself with as many normal people as possible who knew you before you did any of it. Because it reminds you that you're a person and you're more than what you do. And I think like music aside, I think we live in a world now where everybody gets caught up in what they're doing or how many followers they have or what their job is. Like you don't even have to be in the music industry to feel some sort of pressure. And I think just being reminded like, hey, you're a human. And even if all of this went away tomorrow, you would still be a lovable human and you have a lot to offer the world outside of your talents and your skills, like just being that. So I think coming back to that, staying grounded with family and also taking days where I don't think about any of it and I'm just kind of existing and I have a lot of old lady hobbies. So that helps. I live like an 80-year-old 90% of the time. So that helps protect a lot of my mental health right there.
What are your hobbies?
Recently got into gardening now that I'm home and I have a place to garden because I was living in an apartment in Nashville and I didn't have that ability. So, gardening, I'm a big cross stitcher. I'm learning embroidery currently. I like watercolor painting. I'm not very good at it, but it's pretty fun. I like to read. I like to listen to audiobooks. And one of my favorite pastimes is making a really yummy meal and putting on
Yes.
piano music. And I just like sit back and enjoy that. And yeah, I'm like a cup of tea, a nice little treat to go with it. I literally my favorite thing in the world.
I love your life.
Thank you. I mean, but it hasn't always been that way. It's taken like a few years of something's got to give. I've got to like start having some analog hobbies again. And that really did save my mental health when I was like something that doesn't involve a screen and actually makes me feel like I'm doing something that's productive. It's helped immensely.
Yeah, I bet.
But again, I'm like an 80-year-old woman at this point. Like
You're an old soul. I love
I
it.
am. I am. Just give me a nice little flowy nightgown and a cross stitch project and I'm good to go.
And do you drink tea every day? Or
I
you
do
more
in the
coffee girl?
winter.
Okay.
I like coffee in the mornings, but I do like a cup of tea in the afternoon with like a treat. I have to have something sweet to go with it, which probably isn't the healthiest thing in the world, but I'm a purist when it comes to that. Like just a nice little, almost like an English tea. I feel like that would be,
Yep. This is what I've been doing.
yeah.
Tea and a sweet treat. I just love that.
It's just so good. It's so good. And you feel like it's special, especially if you put it in china or like a really nice mug. Gosh, it's so good.
I know.
And it feels so special, like it's a ritual. I think that's having little rituals that you can go to when life feels crazy or hectic, like just having something that you can come back to that's so simple, but it feels like you're treating yourself. And yeah, I love a good cup of tea, but I do drink coffee in the mornings. I'm not a coffee all day girl, though. I would feel so sick if I had coffee all day. That would be awful.
I don't do coffee. I can't.
It's not for everyone.
My body can't handle it. It's too much for me.
That's why I have like one cup in the morning to make me an alive human being. I need like a little bit of caffeine, but after that, I can't because my heart will be racing
Yeah.
and I'll feel like nauseous. I just can't do it. It's too much.
But it
But tea is
smells
very
good.
common. It smells so good. It's like, but it doesn't really taste that great either. Like that's the funny thing.
Exactly. I
It's being
love the
watered.
smell, but I can't drink it.
Yeah. You should just buy a candle then that has like coffee bean smell.
That's a good
That'd be
idea.
good. Yeah, get like a really nice coffee bean candle.
You know what? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. You're welcome. Full of great ideas.
So, what scares you the most about betting on yourself?
This is gonna sound so dumb because I've been preaching don't care about what anyone else thinks. I think my biggest fear is getting to the end of the summer and not having like any results to show for it. Like, yes, playing shows or whatever, but getting to the end of the summer and everybody who's been following along being like, oh, is that it? Like, that's all you did. And I know that's so dumb because I know I've already done a lot, even in just the month that I've been home. And summer isn't even in full swing yet. But I do worry that I'm going to get to the end of the summer and everybody's going to be like, okay, so what now? And I'm just going to be like, that was it. I bet on myself this summer. I did the best I could. I don't know what the results are going to be. So I think the unknown of that really scares me.
Yeah, I get that. People would always judge anyway, so
That's true. That's why I know in my head it doesn't make sense to even really worry about what anyone thinks because there's always going to be people who
Yeah.
don't want you to succeed or are just
Mm.
waiting for you to fail. But it's moving me forward. That's all I care about. I'm not in the same place I was a year ago, and as long as I'm moving forward in life, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. So, what excites you the most?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. I think the possibilities of everything. Like not knowing where life is going to take you. The same thing that scares me is also the same thing that excites me. And I guess two things can be true. The excitement of not knowing where life is going to take me or some of these decisions that I've been making, like what the outcome's going to be, but it could be worse than I planned or it could be better than I could have ever imagined. And I think that's exciting, like knowing that you're actively doing something to make a difference in your life, whether it works out or not. Like that's exciting to me is moving forward and making choices and not staying stuck in the same place.
Yep. Do you feel more free now than you did a year ago?
Yeah, I do. And I think that some of it's from a year of going to therapy and talking about being a highly sensitive person and working through better coping mechanisms and boundaries with people. So I don't feel a sense of, I'm a very loyal person at heart, almost to a fault. It's probably one of my greatest strengths and my biggest weaknesses is I feel so loyal to everyone I care about. And I think this year I've really like released that loyalty a little bit and tried to figure out who's earned it in my life. But this year I don't feel tied to it. And I think I was basing so many of my decisions off of what other people wanted me to do that like having kind of my parents and my family giving me permission to be like, no, you could be selfish. You can do what you want to do. Like you're not married, you don't have children, you're not even really tied to a place. If you're ever going to do something for you, now is the time to do it. Like you don't owe anything to your coworkers, you don't owe anything to your friends. I mean, obviously be a good person and don't go out of your way to hurt somebody, but like don't make decisions based off of what you think other people want from you. And ever since I released that mentality, that was very heavily controlling my life last year. I felt so much freer because I feel like when you take out the opinions of other people and you just literally base it off of what do I want to do, like what do I feel would make me happiest, it's freeing because you're not tied to everyone else's expectations. You're just going off of what you feel is right. And that alone quiets my mind a lot. It makes me feel like I have space to actually figure out, okay, now what do I want to do? Because nobody else is telling me what to do. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Damn, you've grown so much
I'm
since
telling you,
last year. Damn. A lot of healing.
so much healing. And I think, yeah, and I'm glad that I'm taking a minute just to like kind of think about it the last month or two. I've really just sat back and I'm like, okay, we're gonna celebrate all the small wins that got us here because it was a lot of hard work and a lot of tears and a lot of depression and moments of not being so happy. So I'm kind of like in a moment where I'm just trying to take it all in and enjoy it now.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
What kind of artist and person do you hope to become through this journey?
I think somebody who always stays relatable. I definitely think in the entertainment world, the moment someone has success, they start being a bit unrelatable, whether that's because they're making more money or they're getting bigger opportunities and it's harder to stay grounded. I want to always be the artist that writes about stuff that the average person who is working a regular job, or maybe they're, taking a chance and betting on themselves and doing a creative job or doing something they've always wanted to do. I want it to always be relatable to everyone that listens to me. I never want it to sound like, well, she's just in a different world writing about things that only she relates to. I try to keep it very real and grounded. And I think every songwriter wants to write about the human experience. And the only way you can do that is to continue to stay connected to humanity and the everyday things. So I think, yeah, just staying a comfort artist, being a positive place for people. I think there's so many negative things in the world currently. And I'll still write my songs that are about heartbreak and maybe negative things that happen to me, but I still want it to be a very positive corner of the world since everything else feels so dark all the time.
Yeah. I relate to you, so.
Oh, I'm glad. I relate to you though. I feel like that's
We're
the
like
beauty.
twins.
We are just in different. You're the French version of me. I'm the Southern North Carolinian version of you. It's just we have this connection. I think that's so cool because I mean, we have different backgrounds. We speak different languages, literally. Like that's I don't know. It's just so cool to know that deep down we're all the same person, really. We have the same emotions and feelings and experiences.
Yeah, it's so crazy
It really is.
to have that from someone in another country.
In another country with a different background, like, but is it that different? Because we've said so many things where we're like, oh, I relate to that. And I don't know, it's
Exactly.
just so cool to think about.
It's beautiful. We're gonna have to meet very soon.
I know. I'm gonna get my passport so I can, or you could come here even. I'm just saying.
I
I'll show
know.
you around North Carolina.
I would love that. Yeah, I don't want to go to LA. I'm done for now. I need to change.
Yeah. Pick somewhere on the East Coast. Even if it's not North Carolina, East Coast is where it's at. It's so great.
Yeah, I
Very
would
different
try that.
mindset.
I would
Very
try
laid
that.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe North Carolina. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You should.
Who knows? I would check that out.
Amazing.
So, if your younger self could see your life right now, what do you think she would say?
I think she would be so proud of me, which is funny because I think we always live with this pressure of doing something big and great. And there's like that TikTok trend where it's the younger you, and then you swipe and it's like, oh, I'm just living in Nashville. And then the younger you is the picture of you, and it's like, we're living in Nashville. Like the things that you take for granted every day that don't seem like a big deal. Younger you would just think that's massive. So I think she would be really proud of me. And I had a lot of anxiety as a kid. I think she would be impressed that I've done half of the things I've done and traveled by myself and lived in a city by myself and accomplished, even the stuff that I've not felt like was a big deal. She would be like, that's so cool. You did this. And I think we need to probably sit and reflect on that more as adults. Like we're doing things that younger us would find really cool.
Yeah. The
And I think
younger,
she'd be
yeah.
happy. She'd be
Yeah,
happy that I'm home. I think she'd be like, yeah, I knew, I saw that coming. You would be home. That makes sense. Like you go do your thing and then you come home. That completely makes sense. So,
that's so beautiful.
well, thank you.
My younger self would be so proud too.
I think she would. What do you think? Yeah, I want to like put the question on you. What do you think your younger self would think of you now? Is there anything particular that she'd be like, whoa?
Yeah, I think she would be so proud of me for healing so much and for
Yes.
dealing with her anxiety and everything, because that was my biggest struggle. Anxiety and a little bit of depression, but mostly anxiety.
Yeah.
So it took me a very good time. I'm not there yet, but she would be so proud of that.
I relate to that. Anxiety was a big part of my childhood. So even the thought of going and traveling somewhere alone, the fact that I've done that before, she would just be like, "Wait, what?" Like you would have had a panic attack doing that before now. So,
Damn.
yeah. So I relate to that a lot.
Anxiety, that's something.
That's a whole other
I didn't know I was struggling with that until recently.
really.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know how I was feeling.
Yeah.
I was like escaping my thoughts, I guess, and emotions.
Yeah. That's typically Anxiety is always a symptom of something else. And it's like you realize, oh, this is the problem. This is why I'm anxious. There was this other thing
Yeah.
that I've been ignoring or neglecting. And then you're like, oh, this is
It-
why I feel sick and I'm gonna cry at all times. Like that makes sense now.
yeah. Just hit me in the face.
Hmm.
Ever
That's
since, yeah,
typically,
ever since I started driving again, everything rushed back.
yeah. Well, that makes sense because it's exposure therapy for a reason. You're doing the thing that's triggering
Yeah,
your main anxiety.
but it's never been about the driving. It's been about something else, something deeper. Like,
Like the driving was just like an emotional trigger for you.
yeah, for me,
Yeah.
it was believing in myself, have confidence, be independent, and the hardest part for me is to always have this thought that people would always judge me for everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it took me a while to take risk in life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah.
My therapist, one of the very first things, because I started seeing her for some of my anxiety attacks, and one of the very first things she told me was, you already have everything you need inside of you. Like, she's like, there's nothing I can tell you that is, it's not something you don't already possess within you to deal with every situation. And it was similar to you, like, being afraid that I wasn't capable enough to handle a situation on my own, or because I had anxiety with driving. I feel like ours are maybe a little bit different. Mine was health related.
Mm.
So I would get anxiety attacks while I was in the car, whether I was driving or whether I was in the car with somebody else. And she would just tell me, she's like, you are capable. You like already have everything inside of you that you need to handle any situation that comes your way. She's like, yes, it might be scary, but you are capable to handle it. And it like shifted something in my mind a little bit to be like, no, you're right. Like it might be a tough situation, but you are capable to handle anything that comes your way. And I think it's so funny how our minds like to tell us otherwise sometimes though.
Yeah. I keep repeating that to myself though. I am safe and I am capable.
Yeah. Even like I don't know like exactly what your anxiety is, but even if your worst case scenario, for me, I had like a lot of worst case scenarios that would pop in my head. She was like, even if your worst case scenario came true, she's like, you are capable to handle it, even if the absolute worst possible scenario happened. She's like, you would figure it out because you're strong and you're capable and you're safe and you can handle it. And there's something about being told that and then telling yourself that. It's almost like you're telling your body, like, hey, I'm okay. And
Yeah.
you like self-soothe a bit there too.
Yeah. It's getting there because, I was treating myself pretty bad before that. So it's going to take a while,
Yeah,
but
and
it's getting there.
I'm really proud of you for doing that because I know it's so hard to put yourself in that position and
The
know like
worst.
you're gonna have that emotional response and it's gonna be there and but you're like working through it. And I think that's so I admire you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
You're
I am
welcome.
very positive now. It's
I love that.
it's different.
It is. It is different. You're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah. Yes, we are. We are. We are taking life by the reins.
Exactly. What would you say to someone who wants to follow their dream?
I would say do it. Bet on yourself this summer. Like anything, even if it doesn't make sense. I am a firm believer if you have something on your mind that you've been wanting to do, if you have a dream in your heart, there's a reason it's there. And it might not look exactly how you think it's going to look. So be willing to pivot and be willing to, take the route that doesn't look how you thought it would. But I say go for it and don't worry about what anyone else thinks. It only has to make sense to you. And as long as you are not hurting the people closest to you, as long as you are safe and being good to yourself, go for it. Like full speed ahead. Just take a leap because you just don't know how good life can get the moment you decide to follow the dream.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I feel like everybody probably needs to hear that. I'll probably have to re-listen to this in a month or two and be like, I did say that. I need to do that.
One last question.
Okay.
What biggest life lessons have you learned so far?
Biggest life lessons.
I know it's a hard one.
Oh, I think my biggest life lesson is at the end of the day, nobody has walked a mile in your shoes. Nobody knows what you're going home to or what you're struggling with, and we are all dealing with things behind the scenes. Like every person has their own story and their own situation. So show kindness to others because you don't know what they're going through, but also show kindness to yourself because people don't always know what you're going through and they're not the one having to live your life. So be good to yourself and whatever that looks like, be true to yourself. If that means leaving a job that isn't good for you and might make a lot of people upset, do it because that's you're being true to what you need. And at the end of the day, you're kind of stuck with yourself. So you want to make sure you're being good to them. You want to make sure that you're being good to you. And I don't know, like you're going to be stuck with yourself. So you want to be happy.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of that just made sense, but that's kind of the main thing that popped in my head when you asked that.
It makes sense.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Better Minds. And thank you again to Carson Hill for such an honest and beautiful conversation. If this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it around or leave a rating on your favorite streaming platform. It really helps support the podcast. And remember, it's okay to move at your own pace, to feel deeply and to choose yourself sometimes. If you're an artist looking for support or guidance, I offer services to help you grow your music journey. You can learn more on my website, bettermusicofficial.com, and connect with me on social media at Better Music Official. See you in 2 weeks, and as always, take care of your mind.